Force shows us many paths, infinite possibilities branching like streams from a great river. I've walked beyond the veil of death, and from here, I see what was, what is, and what might have been. In one stream, the Chosen One fell to fire and emerged enslaved by metal. But in another, he remained whole in body, if not in spirit. This is that story. The volcanic winds of Mustafar screamed across the landing platform as two lightsabers crashed together in a shower of sparks. Blue against blue, master against apprentice, brother against brother. But this time, something was different. Obi-Wan Kenobi's stance faltered for just a moment. Perhaps it was the heat, perhaps the weight of betrayal. But Anakin Skywalker seized the opening with the ruthless efficiency of a true Sith Lord. His blade swept low, then high, driving his former master back toward the edge of the platform. "You underestimate my power!" Anakin snarled, his eyes burning with the golden fire of the dark side. "Don't try it!" Obi-Wan warned, but there was something in his voice, a tremor of uncertainty that hadn't been there before. The lava river churned below them, casting hellish shadows across their faces. But this time, when Anakin leaped, there was no miscalculation, no hubris-driven mistake. His form was perfect, his landing precise, and his blade found its mark. Obi-Wan's lightsaber clattered across the metal platform as he clutched his side, crimson spreading across his robes. "Anakin," he gasped, falling to one knee. "That name no longer has any meaning for me," the young Sith said coldly, raising his weapon for the killing blow. But then, a voice, soft, broken, barely audible over the volcanic din. "Anakin, please." Padmé stood at the edge of the landing ramp, one hand pressed to her throat, tears streaming down her face. In his rage, in his paranoid fury at seeing Obi-Wan emerge from her ship, Anakin had nearly killed her. Nearly, but not quite. The sight of her, alive, pleading, made him pause. Just long enough for Obi-Wan to force push himself backward, tumbling off the platform. Whether he fall to his death or found some miraculous escape in the volcanic wasteland below, Anakin didn't know, didn't care. His master was gone. "My love," Anakin said, deactivating his lightsaber and moving toward Padmé with arms outstretched. "You're safe now. We're safe. The Jedi can never hurt us again." She recoiled from his touch, and something dark flickered across his feature. Before either could speak, the whine of approaching engines filled the air. An Imperial shuttle descended, its ramp lowering to reveal the hunched figure of Emperor Palpatine. "Well done, Lord Vader," the Emperor crooned, his yellow eyes gleaming with satisfaction. "You have passed your final test, and I see you've brought me an unexpected gift." Padmé's hand moved instinctively to her swollen belly, and Anakin stepped protectively in front of her. "She's mine," he growled. "Of course, my apprentice. Of course. The Empire shall care for her, most carefully." Months passed in the sterile hands of an Imperial medical facility, hidden deep within Coruscant's industrial sector. Padmé Amidala, former queen, former senator, now prisoner, gave birth to twins under the watchful eyes of medical droids and Imperial guards. The boy came first, screaming with powerful lungs. The girl followed, quieter but no less fierce. "Luke," Padmé whispered, cradling her son. "And Leia." Her voice was hollow, drained of the fire that had once challenged the Senate and defied the Trade Federation. Months of captivity had taken their toll. The Emperor himself attended the birth, though Vader was conspicuously absent, sent on some distant mission to hunt surviving Jedi. Palpatine's thin lips curved into a smile as he gazed upon the infants. "Such potential," he murmured. "Such magnificent potential." "Where's Anakin?" Padmé demanded weakly. "Where is my husband?" "Lord Vader is attending to matters of state," Palpatine replied smoothly. "The Empire requires much of him, but fear not, your children shall want for nothing. They will be raised with all the privileges befitting their heritage." What Padmé didn't know, what even Vader didn't know, was that Palpatine had already begun weaving his web. The children would be hidden, not from the galaxy, but from their own father. Tools to be shaped, weapons to be forged, insurance against the day when his apprentice might grow too powerful, too ambitious. In the years that followed, Darth Vader became a name whispered in terror across the galaxy. Unlike the mechanical monstrosity of another timeline, this Vader moved with deadly grace, his full power in the Force unhindered by prosthetics or life support. He appeared on battlefields like a demon from ancient myths, cutting through enemies with an ease that made even veteran stormtroopers step back in awe. "Sir, the Jedi and Kashyyyk have been located," reported Commander Appo, still serving under Vader's direct command. Vader didn't respond verbally. He simply walked past the commander toward his personal starfighter. No need for a special meditation chamber when one's body remained whole. Within hours, another name was crossed off the list of surviving Jedi. Quinlan Vos had fought well, but against an uninjured Chosen One, fully embraced by the dark side, he never stood a chance. The Empire expanded at a rate that surprised even Palpatine. Planetary systems that might have held out for years fell within months. The Death Star, that ultimate symbol of Imperial might, was completed a full 2 years ahead of schedule. After all, when your enforcer could personally demolish entire resistance cells without breaking a sweat, resources flowed much more efficiently.
"Your effectiveness continues to impress me, Lord Vader,"
Palpatine said during one of their meetings in the Imperial Palace.
"Tell me, do you ever think of her?"
Vader's jaw tightened beneath his hood. Yes, he wore a hood now, but by choice rather than necessity. "She is dead to me, Master, as are all remnants of my former life."
Of course. Although,
Palpatine paused, savoring the moment.
I'm told she asks for you, even now, after all these years.
The temperature in the throne room seemed to drop 10 degrees. "She lives?"
Did I not mention? How careless of me. Yes, Lord Vader, your wife lives, kept safe and comfortable in Imperial custody. For her own protection, naturally. The galaxy remains dangerous for those who once stood against us.
Vader's hand moved to his lightsaber, then stopped. Even now, with all his power, he knew better than to challenge the Emperor directly. Not yet. "And," he began, then caught himself.
"The children?"
Palpatine's grin was reptilian.
"Ah, but that would be telling. Focus on your duties, my apprentice. All else is irrelevant."
Deep in the Outer Rim, in a cave on a nameless moon, Jedi Master Yoda sat in meditation. Across from him, a figure shimmered in the blue light of a Force ghost, but it wasn't Qui-Gon Jinn or even Mace Windu. It was Obi-Wan Kenobi, scarred and broken, but very much alive. "Survived your fall, you did," Yoda observed, his ears drooping with the weight of their situation. "But changed, you are." Obi-Wan's left arm ended at the elbow, a reminder of his desperate escape through Mustafar's lava flows. Burns covered half his face, though Bacta treatments from sympathetic locals had saved his life. "I failed him, Master Yoda. Failed them all. Failed, we all did. But finished, we are not. Hidden, the children are. Bail Organa has the girl. The boy is with the Lars family. But Master," Obi-Wan's voice cracked, "Padmé lives. My contacts in the Imperial Senate confirm it. She's Palpatine's prisoner." Yoda's gimmer stick struck the ground sharply. "A complication this is. If discovered the children are." "There's more," Obi-Wan continued. "Ahsoka has been gathering other survivors. She believes," he paused, choosing his words carefully. "She believes Anakin can still be saved. Foolish hope, that is. Consumed by darkness, young Skywalker has been. Seen the hollows I have. Merciless he has become." But even as Yoda spoke, both masters felt it, a tremor in the Force. Somewhere in the galaxy, something was changing. Lord Vader stood in his private training chamber aboard the Super Star Destroyer, Executor. Around him, the dismembered remains of a dozen training droids sparked and smoked. It wasn't enough. It was never enough. The rage that had sustained him for over a decade was shifting, evolving into something else. Questions plagued him during meditation. Why had Palpatine hidden Padmé's survival? What else had his master concealed? In the dreams, Force visions of 2 children, powerful beyond measure, calling out to him across the stars. "My lord," Captain Piet's voice crackled over the comm. "We've intercepted a rebel transmission. They mentioned someone called Fulcrum, Ahsoka." Even after all these years, Vader recognized her operational signature. His former Padawan, still fighting, still believing in lost causes. "Set course for the transmission origin point," Vader commanded. "And Captain, prepare my meditation chamber. I must center myself." As the stars elongated into hyperspace lines, Vader reached out with the Force, searching. Somewhere out there were answers. Somewhere out there was truth. And perhaps, buried beneath years of darkness and death, something else. Something he thought burned away on Mustafar's shores. "Soon," he whispered into the emptiness. "Soon I will have the truth." And when I do, his fist clenched, and every viewport on the bridge developed a hairline crack. The Empire was about to discover that even the most powerful chains could be broken by the Chosen One. The only question was whether the galaxy would survive the breaking. In a modest moisture farm on Tatooine, a young boy with sandy blonde hair looked up at the twin suns setting over the desert. Luke Skywalker, though he didn't know his true name, felt something calling to him from beyond the stars. A destiny, a purpose. And in the gleaming halls of Alderaan's royal palace, a young princess with fire in her eyes and revolution in her heart began to plan. Leia Organa would not let the Empire stand unopposed. The pieces were in motion. The Force was awakening. And in the shadows between light and dark, a scarred former Jedi prepared for one last mission. One last chance to save the brother he'd lost to darkness. The saga was far from over. In fact, it was just the beginning. The destiny of the Skywalker family remained unwritten, their power undiminished, their choices yet unmade. In this galaxy, anything was possible. Even redemption, even hope. Even for a Dark Lord who had never needed a machine to breathe, but might yet need his children to teach him how to truly live. If you enjoyed this journey into an alternative Star Wars universe where destiny takes unexpected turns and balance means something entirely different, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We explore the infinite possibilities hidden within the galaxy far, far away, asking the questions that reshape everything you thought you knew. The Force has many paths. Come discover them with us.